hand or just say you have a question. Okay.
I'm lost.
Go ahead.
Can you
okay.
hear me? I got off.
I can still hear you. I'm going to mute you, okay?
I can.
Okay. So we're going to talk about healthy body equals a healthy skin. Now, most of the times we are obsessed with good looking skin. We all want to look good on the outside. But in order to look good on the outside, we have to take care of the inside. And so that's why we say healthy body equals healthy skin. And we're going to talk about things. So Dr. Nelson, who, for those of you, most of you know this already, but she is my mentor. She's the one who developed everything we do. She was on last month and did the class. And for those of you who weren't on, if you want to listen to it on YouTube, you can. And so same with this class. So if we're done and you want somebody else to listen to it, tell them we'll let you all know when it's available. Normally, what's the next day or 2 days, something like that?
Yeah, by next Tuesday, depends on how busy I am tomorrow.
Okay. So as Dr. Nelson would say, you know, we change people's lives and we do it through programs, but we work very hard on the inside of the body, which will very much assist people on the outside. So let's get into what we're talking about, okay? So in order to be healthy and have healthy skin, we have to include internal and external. So it's not a matter, most people, when they want to look good, they work from the outside in. And we believe that you have to work from the inside out. Now, that's not taken away from anybody who works on skin, because, you know, obviously there's things that are needed to work on the skin. That's why it's good to go to a good esthetician and that knows what they're doing to help with the skin. But you can go to an esthetician forever, and if you're not taking care of yourself internally, the esthetician can only do so much, okay? As I tell people, they're not magicians, okay? They have to have something to work with. So we're going to talk about the intrinsic factors that actually lead to inflammation, which inflammation, internal body creates inflammation in the skin. We're going to go through some solutions that you can implement immediately that will help you. We're going to look at the extrinsic factors and the different topical solutions that can protect your skin from all the harsh realities of our environment. So many of the skin issues that people talk about, it's not just the face, it's all over our body. We have rosacea, eczema, psoriasis. For anybody who's ever had psoriasis, it can be very, very painful. Most times, a lot of these things are treated with steroids, but steroids do nothing but suppress. Whether it's the rashes that we get, whether it's from poison ivy or just rashes because we're inflamed internally, or acne, the psoriasis issue. So steroids and trying to cover them up all the time does not get rid of them. It'll mask the symptoms. It might make you feel better for a while, the way you look, etc. And a lot of times, different things will happen on your head, scalp, face, because those are your extremities. And the natural way the body works is called innate intelligence, is to try to get rid of the inflammation and push it to the farthest extremities. So people will have feet issues, hands, arms, face, and scalp. So a lot of times that's where the skin issues actually occur. And each one has its own issues and reasons for showing up. Okay, so we have to understand, we have to take care of the skin the same way we care for the internal body. So we have to, just like we talk all the time about detoxing the body, cleaning out the kidneys and the bladder and the urinary tract and the colon, etc. And we give the body 100% nutrition. We have to do the same exact thing to the skin. We have to cleanse it, we have to hydrate it, and we have to give it the natural nutrients that can renew to the cellular level. That's the only way we get good, healthy skin, is to give it the nutrients that it needs. Because skin, if you remember, is the largest limited organ in your body. It eliminates more toxins than the colon, than the liver, everything. The skin is your largest limited organ. One thing I'm going to say at this point is many people, especially women, mostly women, I will say, put a lot of lotions on. Now, I had a woman yesterday telling me, I was doing a consultation, and she said, I have great skin. And we got talking about the skin, and she puts on lotions every day, heavy lotions. The problem with that is you're blocking the pores. The skin has to breathe, just like every other organ in our body has to breathe. And when you block the pores, it can't breathe. Now, why do people do it? Because they feel it makes the skin soft. But if you're healthy throughout your body, internal, your skin will become soft by nature because of the health of the internal body. Okay, so why does the food that we eat matter when it comes to your skin? All right. Now, what I'm going to explain right now is that we have organisms, and we have more organisms in our body than we have actual cells, okay? And we all know how many cells that we have. It's millions of cells. The key elements to clear skin is maintaining balanced flora in the gut, okay? In other words, you want to be pH balanced in the intestinal tract. The microorganisms in your body are responsible for digestion. If your body can't digest and break everything down, then that means you're not going to get nutrients into the body. If you don't get the nutrients into the bloodstream, if you don't get the nutrients to your cells, that is what feeds the skin. And then you're going to have issues. So sometimes people will eat healthy, but if they don't use or get digested properly, they're still going to be unhealthy. They create antibodies, and antibodies, when we had COVID, they always talked about antibodies, and antibodies are the protectors of your body for many things, all the viruses, etc. And one thing that the living organisms is broke down can be many things in your body, to include your vitamin B and Ks. But it's also many viruses. You have to understand that we have hundreds and hundreds of viruses in our body. So when I do a Zytoscan on people, and a lot of times viruses come up as being stressed, it doesn't mean that it's COVID-19. It can be many viruses, rubella virus, chickenpox virus. It can be on and on and on. And all of those viruses, if they're not balanced, then they're going to create a problem. The microorganisms also are responsible for creating hormones and enzymes, which translates back into the digestion processes. When all this stuff becomes imbalanced, then obviously your skin becomes imbalanced as well, which will create a whole nother problem for our health. Because unhealthy skin means unhealthy body, internal body, okay? So one goes hand in hand with the other. So 95% of all disease begins in the gut. And we talk about this a lot for everything we talk about. The gut is responsible for the health of the skin, health of the brain, all your vital organs. Studies show that cancer normally So the breakdown starts in the gut. Okay. So, and then it permeates throughout the body and starts breaking down other things, and it creates a domino effect. So the end results are things like your severe diseases like cancers and some of the other things that people suffer from. And that is why every time we have a class, we talk about gut health, because if we don't take care of the gut, we're in trouble. The gut is actually known as a second brain. And that's why when people say, listen to your gut, or people say, I knew I shouldn't have done that, I should have listened to my gut. Well, the gut has a direct connection to the brain. And that's why it's called a second brain. And it has over 500 million, with an M, neurons that directly communicate with the rest of the body. And that is why the gut health is so tremendously important to our overall health. So what does that mean? If you eat inflammatory foods, it affects the inflammation throughout the rest of our body, which includes your skin, okay? Now, oftentimes, a little bit later, we're going to show you when skin breakouts, what part of the body is actually causing that. So when the gut flora becomes bad, what happens is it affects another organ in our body, and it might not be just because of the stomach or the intestinal tract that's causing it. It could have attacked the kidneys or the liver or something like that, and that is what's creating a certain issue within in the body that's creating the skin problem. So the connection is a number one contributor to the different things we mentioned earlier: rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, and the acne, etc. When I was unhealthy, I had tremendous amount of rosacea, and my skin around my eyes and my face was red. And in the wintertime, people would always ask me if I had been on vacation. And I had no idea. I didn't understand it because I was like, no, I'm just, here in the Northeast. Maybe it was a wind, maybe it was a cold. I didn't know. But once Dr. Nelson got a hold of me, she said, you have rosacea, which is a direct result of candida, which is an overinfestation of yeast in the body, which is affecting the neurons in my body that actually was creating the rosacea. Now, once I got rid of that issue, I don't have rosacea. So nobody thinks I'm on vacation getting sunburned. Okay. So the process of imbalance for skin. First, step one. The imbalance is induced from processed foods, refined sugars, stress, and prescription medications. Now, at this point, a couple ladies were in yesterday doing consultations. They said, well, the one young girl, she's 23, but she said, I'm on medications, but I thought medications was supposed to help me, not hurt me. And I told her that the problem is that medications only suppress. But the problem with medications as well is that it breaks down the immune system. Because when we suppress anything into our body that's unhealthy, the body can't function properly. All the imbalances become greater. The neurons can't do what they're supposed to do. The cells don't get fed all the nutrients that they need. So therefore, everything just becomes less healthy in the body. And that's why we try to do everything in our power to get people off of medications in order to help to boost the immune system. When we start doing these things with the different foods, or we have undue stress, or we're taking medications, it actually slows digestion. Now, when you slow digestion in the body, it causes a shift in bacteria, because the longer that stuff stays in your body and doesn't move through the system, it starts to ferment, it starts to spoil and become, for lack of better words, I know it's probably close to dinner time, but it starts to rot in the body. And we all know that when we have something that's rotting anywhere, then we have another problem. somewhere else, whether it's in the body or any place else, okay? If you have, think about this, if you have a basket of fruit and let's say it's apples and one or two of them start rotting, what happens to the rest? All of a sudden they all start to ferment, which means they start to rot, and then they go bad very rapidly. And the same exact thing happens to the body when the digestion process is slow. So when we eat something, ideally, it should be moved out of your colon and eliminated in anywhere from 18 to 24 hours maximum. Now, the average person, unhealthy person, or medium health unhealthy person, will eat something and it will stay in the body up to 36 to 48 hours or longer. So I tell you, if you take something and put it in the body temperature, moist, and let it sit for 2 days, 3 days, I don't think you'd want to eat it. So what I'm trying to say is, when we eat something, the fresher it is as it moves through from the stomach, through the duodenum, into the small intestines, through the ileocecal valve, into the colon, and then gets moved out. If we can do that quicker, that's all that process where the body gets the nutrients. But if it gets slowed down, it starts to ferment, and then what it feeds off of it actually is very toxic to the body, and therefore we start getting disruptions throughout our body, to include the skin. Okay, and then once that happens, it creates inflammation in the body and the skin, as I mentioned. And it takes the colon, or I should say the small and the large intestine, it makes them permeable, which means it makes it leak. So sometimes you'll hear about leaky gut syndrome, and that means that the colon, the intestinal tract, has been stretched. So therefore, it starts to leak into the system. Now, you've all probably heard of ulcerative colitis, and ulcerative colitis can be, or Crohn's disease, can be very, very dangerous, because if it breaks, then all that waste gets spewed into the body, and it can actually cause virtually instant death. And that is why it's so important, not just for the skin, but for the whole body, to take care of the intestinal tract. So what happens is, by doing step one, eating wrong, is going to create a problem in the next 4 steps, obviously compromising the immune system. Okay, so when you have acne, or you have breakouts on, we're going to show the face, okay? When you have breakouts on these parts of the body, then that is the organs that's causing it. So the middle of the forehead is the small intestines. To the side in the forehead is a bladder. But right above the eyes is a heart, the liver. You can see around the eyes, kidneys, down on the cheeks, the stomach, tip of the nose, heart, lungs on the cheeks, lower cheeks. Large intestines can be right around the nose, or the around the lower lip. And then on the chin is a reproductive system, okay? So if you know somebody, or you yourself have issues of breakouts, regardless of your age, then oftentimes you're gonna have breakouts. I mean, when you have breakouts, you can kind of track back and say, okay, you know what, my colon isn't working right, or the lungs. And during the pandemic, a lot of people had issues with breakouts because they were wearing masks a lot, and the lungs were becoming inflamed because people are breathing the carbon dioxide back into their body that really is supposed to be exhaled and gotten rid of. But if you're wearing a mask all the time and you're just breathing in the waste, obviously you're going to have some issues, and a good chance you're going to have a breakout somewhere on your face. Now, it might not be there. It could be because breathing that back in could affect the liver, and therefore you get a breakout somewhere else, or it could affect your bladder or something like that. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, you know, just the lungs. So again, you can kind of get an idea of where the breakouts are, what the problems are. Okay, So what are the benefits of taking care of yourself, of a cleanse? Improves digestion, which we mentioned earlier. When the digestion slows, you're going to have problems, okay? It sharpens mental clarity. It boosts the immune system. When the immune system is stronger, your skin is better. A healthy immune system, you're going to have very little, if any, skin issues. It'll help eliminate cellulite. Now, for those, most people know what cellulite is, but I'll give that a cursory thought. It is waste that is underneath the surface of the skin in the connective tissues. And normally it lands in places on our body that there's not a lot of movement. So men, it's in the stomach. Women, it's more lower abdomen, hips, thighs, buttocks, for both men and women, buttocks, that type of an area, okay? And as we get older, it can actually look like dimples. It'll start out looking like dimples, and then if it gets really bad, it can actually extend from the skin and actually hang. It looks like cottage cheese hanging from the skin in places, okay? But it's very, very toxic to the body for the internal and the external body. And that's why one reason the body, the innate intelligence, pushes it away from the vital organs, so it's not affecting the organs as much. It can be very unsightly, but not so much, toxic to the body because it is pushed away from the organs. A good cleanse clears the skin. And again, that's because you're boosting the immune system. Reduces unhealthy cravings. Important because if you're craving the stuff that's going to create the inflammation, more often than not, we're going to eat it. So if we can get rid of the cravings, which really would be the first step, get rid of the cravings so your brain's not thinking about it. It's like many other things. If it's not around us, we're not going to do it. So that we want to get rid of those cravings, and that's what a good detox will do. And obviously it promotes weight loss because you're not eating the garbage, you're not eating the toxic waste, you're not craving it, etc. So obviously it's going to help to get rid of body fat, get rid of toxins and that type of thing that creates the body to store fat. Okay. So what are the eliminative organs? The bowels, known as the intestines. So the waste is eliminated obviously through elimination. Sometimes they come out as diarrhea, heavy dark stools. It can come out as parasites, regular fecal matter material. Again, we always tell people that when you move stools, they should be light brown in color, float on the water, and be little or no smell. That's normally a good, healthy intestinal tract system that you want to try to strive for. Again, most of the people on here are female, and they'll say, I don't look at my stools. Not a bad idea to look at them just to see, because we can tell a lot by our stools. We can also tell a lot by our, when we urinate, we get into the kidneys, I jumped a little bit, but because the color or the smell can also tell us different things about what's going on in the body, whether it's toxic or not, by the smell and the composition, etc. Skin, as I mentioned earlier, is the largest eliminative organ in the body. Okay, its functions are for protection, obviously. It generates or regulates the body temperature, and it gets rid of waste by perspiration. Okay, that's why we want pores open. Something that I tell people, deodorant. You put a lot of deodorant. I was wrapping a woman today, and she had a lot of deodorant under the arms, and you could see it. But the problem is it blocks the skin, and we do the deodorant because we don't want to smell. But if you're internally healthy, your perspiration is not going to smell from regular, normal activity. And there's been many studies out that says one of the very top causes of breast cancer is the use of deodorant, especially the roll-on or the thick white pasty stuff that you put on.
I can't think what it's called. I haven't used one in years.
Yeah, I haven't used that. I use the natural stick,
Stone.
stone, okay? Now, lungs are a limited organ. It's responsible for the exchange of CO2, carbon dioxide out of our body. It eliminates mucus, coughing, runny nose, etc. And a lot of people know, or we all know people have asthma. That is a lung problem. Asthma is caused by the lungs being overloaded, and the body's innate intelligence knows that it needs to get rid of it. So it starts to push it out, and then we start to cough, we sneeze, we feel nasally. And so a lot of people will just go to a doctor, they'll put them on inhalers, and all the inhaler does is stuff it back into the lungs. So it just keeps on building and building. And again, studies will show that the average adult is only using about 20% of their lung capacity, because the rest is loaded with mucus and waste that we just don't let come out. And then the liver is best known for detoxification. And it transforms the waste and chemicals, drugs, and moves it for excretion so that we can get rid of it. And then it creates a source, which is called bile, which breaks down the, helps to break down fat as well. Okay, so those are your main limited organs, and all of them work together. So if your skin is having a problem, in all probability, one of the other four is causing it. If the same with the kidneys, same with the liver, etc. So they're not independent issues, they're all one. There's nothing in your body that is independent, nothing, not a single cell, not a single organ, vertebrae, nothing is independent. Everything has a role with everything else within the body. And that's the importance of taking care of all of these limited organs and everything in your body, not just thinking about, okay, I want clear skin, I want healthy stools, I want, et cetera. It's everything has to be taken care of if we're going to live a healthy life. Okay, so we've talked about cleansing. We're going to have a group cleanse starting on July 18th, which is a Sunday. It's going to be a pre-cleanse, so we'll start that on Sunday 18th. And then our liquid days will be the 20th, 21st, 22nd. Okay, so anybody's interested in getting into the next group cleanse, let us know so we can get you on the list. And then we email you and some of that. It's kind of fun. I like to do it with when I know other people are doing the same thing. It's just kind of fun to know that we're all working together. Okay, what are good foods for the skin? Okay, we're going to talk about foods, and we're going to get into quickly a couple other things, but let's kind of go over some foods that would be good for your skin. So I'm going to share this with Patty. I'm going to let her talk about one. I'll talk about another. I'll start with probiotics. Okay, probiotic is the opposite of antibiotics. Probiotic is a positive. Antibiotics is a negative. Anti. Okay, probiotics boost the immune system. Antibiotics destroys the immune system, breaks it down. Now, I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying never, ever, ever take an antibiotic. There are instances when you have to, okay? But it should not be long-term. It should not be on a regular basis, and it should not be for trivial things. Only time we should really be taking is in dire need to get through something quickly, and then we have to get in and restore the probiotics into the body. So, fun fact, fermented foods are defined as foods or beverages produced through controlled microbial growth and the conversion of food components through enzyme action. So, what are they? Sauerkraut, kombucha, Greek yogurt, kefir, and kimchi. But for those people that might be concerned with Candida albicans, these foods feed Candida, so it can be a negative in that particular situation. But if you've been cleared for Candida, these are very, very good for the intestinal tract. So those are probiotics. It's recommended 8 to 10 billion. That should be billion, okay? Units per day. Now that seems like a lot, but it really isn't. If you eat right and you take the proper probiotics, anybody that's taking probiotics, and I'm going to just throw this as a side note, somebody brought me probiotics or sent me a picture of probiotics the other day, loaded with sugar, okay? People say, well, why would they put sugar in probiotics? Because it's a binder and a filler and it makes it cheap. So if you're taking a probiotic, look at the ingredients. Don't hurt yourself by taking something you think is helping you.
Right. So prebiotics, we get a lot of calls saying, do you have a prebiotic supplement? Well, a prebiotic is not a supplement. Prebiotics are foods that feed the probiotics. Okay, so they're foods for the healthy bacteria in your gut, which is probiotics, right? They help your gut to work better by feeding the probiotic. So things like garlic, which is great. And garlic's actually in our probiotic supplement. Seeds, your sesame seeds and raw seeds, raw seeds. So raw seeds, not cooked, not roasted. Don't ever buy pre-roasted and salted nuts or seeds. You want raw. Dandelion root, chicory root, leeks, asparagus, bananas, onions, artichokes, barley, oats, apples, konjac root, burdock root, and a lot of those roots are in our supplements as well. The konjac root is actually the fiber that's in our Total Body Cleanse kit. So those are really good prebiotics. And like it says, they can be found in our fiber, detox, cleanse, probiotics, and our MRPs, which is our instant meals. So again, if there's any chance of Candida or you're on a Candida program, the fruits are not allowed. So the bananas and the apples are not allowed on a Candida program.
And one thing I'll just a side note, if you're trying to lose weight, bananas are not your best option because they're high carb.
Bananas always seems to be the first fruit that everybody wants to have after they do a program.
Okay, so berries. Blueberries are excellent. They're considered a power food, all right? And it's so rich in antioxidants, fiber, vitamin A and C, virtually no saturated fat, no cholesterol or sodium, and it helps to clear acne and blotchy spots on the skin. So if you're looking for fruit, a really good fruit, I would highly recommend blueberries. Okay, now other berries are fine as well, but blueberries are the really, and fresh. I'm talking about fresh blueberries. The problem is sometimes, you know, especially in different parts of the country, in the wintertime, you're eating blueberries that were raised not in your natural conditions, okay? You know, they're growing with, what's the word I'm looking for? GMOs, yeah, GMOs, okay? Genetically modified. You really want to have them fresh. So when the summertime comes, load up on blueberries, okay? Get them, freeze them, have them for the winter. As long as you freeze them and keep them froze, they're fine any time of the year. So I would highly recommend that.
Leafy greens, they are great for the body, 100% all the way around. They're rich in nutrients, antioxidants. They're packed with lutein, vitamins B, C, and E, potassium, iron, calcium, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids. So leafy greens are like a medicine cabinet for you, everything that you need. So 2 or 3 servings of leafy greens a day is great for you. Strengthen the immune system, juice them if you don't like eating them so much. You know, get a nice good juicer and and juice it with other vegetables. Really good for you.
Kiwi. Great, it's another power food. I get all the power foods, okay? Kiwi is a fabulous food for skin and for health, okay? They help to firm the skin, helps to prevent wrinkles, helps bones and teeth. It's a high in antioxidants, and also it's been known and studies have shown that it can actually help with prevention of cancer. So all fruits can and will, so will vegetables, but certain ones have a much more powerful effect on the body. Kiwi, blueberries, your leafy greens, those are really, really the ones you want to stay with.
Salmon. This is a superfood too. I think they're all superfoods.
Yeah.
All right. So salmon, fresh caught, wild Alaskan salmon is the best. So it helps to moisturize the skin because it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And it nourishes the skin by reducing the body's production of inflammatory substances. So it fights those inflammatory issues in the body. It can help clear clogged pores and erase fine lines and wrinkles. So that doesn't mean to rub it on your face. It means to it means to cook it. But again, fresh. Don't buy farm raised. It's not good. Too much junk in it. Too much bacteria, steroids, whatever. How they raise farm raised fish. So fresh salmon, wild caught from Alaska.
Watermelon. Summertime is great, but again, you want to have fresh watermelon. For those of you who raise a garden, grow some. They're excellent. They help to clear blemishes, smooths the skin, and improves the elasticity. What does elasticity mean by improving? It tightens the skin. So we get rid of these hanging jowls and stuff, okay? It's a lot of water, so it helps to hydrate as well. And hydrating really, really helps the skin. People that drink a lot of water, their skin gets better. So you can eat watermelon and make your skin a whole lot better and enjoy the taste of fresh, sweet watermelon.
Oranges and grapefruits are wrinkle preventers. Okay, lots of vitamin C. Helps to tone the skin, improving the texture and the color of your skin, restoring collagen, which again is for elasticity, keeping your skin firm, and fight early signs of aging. The vitamin C in oranges and grapefruits and any orange vegetable is really good for the colon as well. So the more you can eliminate, again, what John talked about earlier, the better your skin's going to be.
And who doesn't want to fight the signs of aging, right? Forget the early aging, any aging. Okay. Okay. So again, I mentioned the blueberries and all that stuff, but I did kind of hit on other berries. Raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, okay, are really good. If you have a choice, though, I don't want you to eat more blueberries than the other ones, but all of them will help to reduce inflammation and keeping the skin toned and radiant.
Avocados, great for preventing blemishes and just enhancing the overall quality of your skin. High in vitamins A, D, and E, high in minerals, copper and iron, and another thing that promotes elasticity and pigment of your skin.
Eggs, good farm fresh eggs help to keep the skin clear of infections and acne. Okay, they're high in selenium. We have selenium in some of our products. Okay, vitamin A and copper. A lot of times people think, oh, if I eat eggs, I'm going to get high cholesterol. That's not true. All right, it's really not true. Now, when you eat eggs and you buy them from the grocery store, you will notice that the yolk is normally yellow. Yellow yolk means they're old eggs. Orange yolk means fresh. You want your you want your eggs as fresh as possible. We have in our area a gentleman who raises eggs, and we sell them here to help people. And I had more calls when we first started, people saying, "Are these eggs good?" And I would ask why, because the yolks are orange. I've never seen an orange yolk. That means they're fresh. Most times when you buy eggs from a store, they're probably 2, 3, 4 months old. Okay. And therefore, the older the food, I don't care what food it is, the less value it is to your body. Sometimes you'll go to a restaurant and get eggs, and when they bring them, if they're like over easy or something like that, and the whites almost are spongy. That means they're real old eggs. Okay, so just a thought: eggs are good, but if you can get farm fresh eggs, that's really what you want. And you can tell if they're how fresh they are by the color of the yolk. Okay, one thing I'm going to mention before we get to the next section, I did an end of program on a lady today. 2 months ago, she came in, she was just hurting all over, just not feeling well. And I'm bringing this up because we talked about the good food. Now, for 2 months, she was on food that was all healthy, things that we were talking about. Now, she couldn't have fruit because of the thing that she was on Candida, but she was eating lots and lots of vegetables. And she said, I want to be able to go out and eat and have dinner with my friends and have a few drinks. And I want to do this, I want to do that, because I just feel this eating healthy, I'm bored with it. I want something else. And I said, okay, you can do it once in a while. And I said, I just don't want you to go back to where you were when you came in, you're hurting so bad. She said, no, she says, I won't do that because I love the way I look. She said, I love the shape of my body. I like the way my skin looks. And I said, but if you go and start doing those things that you want to do in the restaurants and eating out all the time, you're not going to look as good, because you look good because you've been eating so well. And she was having a real hard time understanding that. A lot of times we think when we get healthy that we're just going to stay healthy, and because you've got healthy, it's going to stay that way. And that's untrue. We have to work, whether it's our skin, whether it's our weight, whether it's anything in our life, we have to constantly work at it to keep it from going back to the unhealthy stage. Okay. So I wanted to bring that because we're talking about these foods, and I thought about her conversation to me today. Right. And I just thought she was so happy. She said 3 or 4 times. In fact, Sasha was there, and she told Sasha the same thing. I just love the way I look. Well, you're not going to look that way if you don't keep eating the right foods. Okay. So anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out. Okay. Skincare routine. Okay. I personally use a few of these things every day. I don't use anything from a drugstore. I don't use anything on my skin that has parabens or toxins or anything in it. We have a line of product, and we're very proud of it through the Malish company. And so we're just going to kind of touch on a few things. The Wash Herbal Cleanser, for me, I use it for skin, my whole body. For shampoo, I use it for everything because it's pH balanced. So it balances to the pH of the body, so it reduces the inflammation, increases oxygenation, circulation. It's deep into the skin, and it's good for all skin types. I don't use it for my face because we have a different one that's more gentle, a little bit more gentle. I don't know how gentle I need to be with my face, but that's what I do. Go ahead.
This is the gentle one that John uses for his face. It's the green tea cleanser. So again, all skin types. So whatever your body is, the Malish topical products are going to balance the pH, whether it's oily or dry or a combination. So again, paraben, sulfate, perfume, and dye-free. Builds collagen. It's got antioxidants. It boosts the skin's hydration levels, and it contains ascorbic acid. The active ingredient is a green tea leaf, and it has an awesome smell. It's scent. I'll call it a scent, not a smell.
You said awesome.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Just,
Yes.
I thought you said awful.
No, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's got a wonderful scent. I want to clarify that.
And when I use this, I wash my face every morning, then I leave it on, and I shave. So I don't use shave cream or aftershave or none of that stuff. So if you know men, a lot of times men think that, oh, I'm a guy, my skin's supposed to be, kind of manly. That's not true. You want your skin to look good. Okay. Scrub is for an exfoliation. We should be exfoliating our skin. I do it twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. We don't do it every day. It's too much on any part of your body. Daily is more than you need. I mean, too much that you need. Twice a week is perfectly fine.
So this is the body exfoliator, so not for the face. The scrub is for the face. The body buff is too harsh for the neck and the face, so this is from shoulders down. And again, exfoliating helps to get rid of top layer of dead skin cells and lets the pores open up and breathe.
Apricot grapeseed exfoliator is a different exfoliation, so we have two different ones. This one has apricot seed powder, grape seed powder, etc. Whatever tumbled apricot seeds are, I don't know, but they sure do work. Okay, and shea butter and safflower oil.
Tone is a spray, and it helps to tighten the pores. You can use it to help set makeup if you're a makeup wearer. It's got the witch hazel in it, which is what helps to tighten the pores. So it's a natural antiseptic, and it boosts hydration, and it can help heal wounds. It has aloe vera in it also.
Hydrate drops, and it has this, what's it called?
Hyaluronic acid.
Right.
So it helps to boost internal hydration of the skin. So it penetrates deep down into the skin to promote hydration from within. So you would use that before a moisturizer to help that moisturizer absorb in and keep your skin hydrated. So it helps to reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles by hydrating your skin.
Eye serum, it helps to get rid of the lines around the eyes. Contains green tea extract, cucumber extract, and stem cells to tighten and tone, reduces the dark circles and puffiness. You'll see a lot of people with a puffy underneath the eyes. This helps to reduce that and get rid of it.
Our Nourish Nutrient Oil is an oil, and it can be used again on all skin types. So even someone with oily skin or acneic skin can use it because it's going to help balance the pH. So it has bee pollen, it has vitamin E. It absorbs quickly, and it helps to regenerate and rejuvenate the skin. It's got the apricot kernel oil, and it helps to retain elasticity, and it's got avocado oil that helps to increase collagen.
Firm tightens the skin, okay, restores elasticity, prevents premature aging. This is one of the ones I use. I use 4 things on the face after I shave. This is one of them. It helps with my neck and keeps my turkey gobbler from drooping.
Firm's my favorite too. All right, the tissue repair cream. This product is awesome. Works on any type of skin irritation, cuts, scars, burns, acne. We've got a client, he called about a week or so ago, and he's a landscaper, and he got into some poison ivy. And he said, what do I do? And so I told him to use the wash, which is our herbal cleanser, the white oak bark in it. And I told him to just apply it. You didn't even have to wet his skin, just apply the wash, let it sit there for a few minutes and help to draw out the poison ivy, and then just rinse it off lightly. and then use the tissue repair cream. You see that before and after picture of the woman. She had psoriasis all over her body. She did a program with Dr. Nelson a number of years ago, healing her body internally and using the tissue repair cream externally to help heal and soothe her skin.
And all of this stuff is so pure, you need tiny amounts, just a little, just drops. It's amazing how little you need.
And again, with this tissue repair cream, the purity of it, if you have a sore throat, and I've done this, just swallow a little pea size of the tissue repair cream, and it will heal the cells in the tissues in your throat and get rid of that.
And very rapidly it does it. Renew, this one smells like heaven, okay? Every time I do a facial, people, oh, I love that smell. Vitamin C, it's really the vitamin C for the skin, okay? Anti-aging, pigment fighting, collagen boosting, all the things that you need for skin care. You have a tendency to want to use too much because it just feels so good on the skin. But again, you only need just a tiny amount for the whole face. And it just smells and feels amazing.
Apple stem cell moisturizer. So this one, another one that it smells just like apples. Got vitamin C and jojoba seed oil. So it comes from plant stem cells. So it protects the cells of the skin, nourishes, again, high antioxidant, it's hydrating, and 100% organic.
Clay, go ahead, you do it.
So this is one of our facials that we do in the offices. This is our clay mask, and it's for acne skin, larger pores. This cute little family here doing their facials together. You can use it for acne on the back and the neck, and it just draws out the impurities to get rid of all that excess oil and acne.
We do also a facial called the Lift, which does deep cleansing. We use a lot of the products when people come in and what we've been showing you, but it tightens and softens through the use of egg protein, RNA factors, oat flour, bee pollen, trace minerals. And again, I know Patty comes in almost every week and gets a facial, and because it works so well. So I can't suggest it enough.
And then the aloe activator has aloe vera in it, and it's natural antiseptic, and it's got amino acids, and it improves the health and tone of the skin and purifies the skin.
Radiance, this comes in a powder form, or you drink it. It's fabulous for the hair, skin, nails. Again, it's joints, collagen. Yeah, so again, this is something you can mix and drink. It tastes like has kind of like a peach flavor. We go through a lot of this all the time. Nails, my nails used to be so weak, and if I have one or two of these, every 2 or 3 a week, my nails just get firm. It's just amazing. So, okay.
Again, we're going to start a group cleanse on July 18th. If I mentioned, if you're interested, you can send us a message. I will send out an email next month and a couple weeks about that. Just remind everybody to get their supplements and get healthy. It's July 18th, it's the middle of summer. If you're not already eating well and taking care of yourself, start now. The better we eat, the easier the detoxes become.
The better our skin stays. Okay, so that concludes our presentation for this evening. I want to open it up for questions. Anybody that has any questions, come off mute or raise your hand or whatever, or message us. We can answer the question if you don't want us to know. Okay. Who has a question?
I didn't.
Go ahead.
What is the best thing to use for the, I call them sunspots or liver spots, the brown spots on your, that you get on your face as you get older? I'm starting to get, I have a really big one right here. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see that. So, the eye serum, even though it's called eye serum, it's for dark circles under the eyes. That would work on dark spots too. It won't eliminate them or erase them completely, but it'll get them healthier, so they wouldn't be so dark. And the apple stem cell moisturizer too.
Okay.
I recommend those two.
I have an answer for that.
You want
Sunscreen.
Judy?
Sunscreen. The sun brings that out.
Yep.
Oh, right, yes. I mean, sunscreen, we don't carry a sunscreen, but yeah, anytime you're in the sun, especially if you're fair skinned, you want to protect yourself with sunscreen and a hat, and just, don't keep that sunscreen on you 24 hours, wash it off as soon as you're out of the sun.
And the Renew can help a little bit on that as well, for sun.
And only the physical sunscreen, not chemical.
Right. Yeah, you don't want chemicals. Okay. Who else has a question?
I have,
Thank you.
with the hyaluronic acid, it holds 1,000 times its weight in water.
Yes,
Yes, that's true.
yes, very much so.
I'm an esthetician instructor.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I was.
Was, huh?
That's fun.
So I always thought those, sorry, I always thought those brown spots were from past sun damage, like it's not coming from you being out in the sun yesterday. So you can't really do anything about them coming out now because they're from years and years and years ago.
Well, everything is a result of things we've done in the past. Okay, so every part of our health starts. So when I do a consultation, a lot of times I ask people, like, in your lifetime, have you ever had this or this? Because that's when it starts. Okay, so the skin can be because of things we did when we were teenagers and, whatever. So that is true. But as we get older, there's things we can do to fix them as much as you can, and so that it doesn't get a lot worse. That's our goal.
Okay, so someone asked, is frozen wild salmon from Alaska okay as well as the fresh?
Absolutely. If it's wild and you freeze it just like fruit, it is just as good. Okay.
Or if you, I guess, you're asking maybe if you buy it frozen already. As
Yeah.
long as it says it's wild caught, you're okay.
Yes. Who else has a question? Okay, while you're thinking of questions, every time we have a class, I do something for people. So what I'm going to do